Hey there, Tallman Clan. Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about Deck 3. And, well, let's get going. Right now, we are all the way forward, the front of the ship, okay? And as you can see, you got the Circle C area over there, and you got the O2 area over there. These are locked. We can't go in, but it'll give you an idea of what these spaces look like. All right, remembering that Circle C is 12 to 14 years old, okay? And 15 to 17 on the Club O2. The other kids areas are all the way upstairs. We will cover that when we do that deck, okay? But you can see there's plenty of room for kids down here. They even got them a foosball table. I'm sure there's gaming consoles behind those TVs, so they like to do Xbox or whatever, okay? All right, so here's our favorite officer. We call him Blinky. We first ran into him. He was fixing all the blinking things, so we just call him Officer Blinky, okay? Right outside the O2 Club, men's room, women's room, so there are bathrooms here, okay? If you've never watched our deck tours before, we either try to go left or try to go right, pick a direction, go all the way up that side of the ship, and then turn around and come down the other side. So we're gonna be like normal people and go to the right. Now, you are in a very strange area. If you look at a deck plan, you will see that there's technically nothing back there. I don't know if they're offices, I don't know if it's storage, but there is literally nothing in this passageway. I don't know if it was art back in the day, right? But in fact, right when you get up here, there's a really nice reception area. That might make like a nice corporate space back there or something, I don't know. But not with the kids playing back there, okay? Normally we're gonna go all the way to the other side of the ship, to the back, but as you can see, there's no need to come back this far. There's nothing down here, okay? So let's move on. So remember, we're all the way to the front of the ship. We're gonna head to the back. Here's our steps. So a few steps up, a few steps down. As you can see, there's 3 in the tile, so excuse me, if you're confused at where you're at, just look down at the tile. All the elevator banks, as soon as you come out, there's a nice map so you can position yourself, and it shows forward versus aft, okay? So you see we're in the forward elevator shaft, and there's 8 elevators. 1, 2, 3, 4 on one side, and then 4 on the others. These are not normal elevators, guys. You see there's no buttons here. These are digital. We're gonna shoot a video on how to use these elevators, because trust me, you could be stuck in there riding elevators if you don't know this, okay? But look at the public spaces. That's what I want you to concentrate on for Deck 3. The public spaces are amazing, right? Like look, there's carvings in the wall, right? Absolutely exquisite. As we go to the right, you will see Carnival Adventures. So this is where you go for your shore excursions, okay? As we go further back, right, these are the stairs that we just came up, okay? There is handicap restroom and another men and women's room. If we go further to the front, you can see these are cabins. We're gonna cover the cabins and doing cabin tours. There's none on the right, they're all on the left. Okay, but we'll cover the cabins at a later time. Okay, let's go forward. Again, stairs and elevators to the left. Make sure you have reference.
Well, now you can do it. All right.
But again, look at the beauty of this atrium. All right, look at that. Is that stunning? I think it's absolutely breathtaking. Really. Beautiful Italian artistry through like Corinthian columns, and right, it's a beautiful one. Of course, a bar right down there in the middle. Okay, so if we're staying on our path, we just got to follow the tile. The tile kind of leads the way, right? So we're just going to follow the tile.
This is 64 what? We're not even in
So on the other side of the atrium is the Marco Polo restaurant. And they are getting ready, as you can see from the sign, a green eggs and ham breakfast with the Cat in the Hat people, right? So somebody was wanting to see this restaurant. It's going to look a little different right now because it's decorated for Cat in the Hat, but this is the Marco Polo restaurant. Okay, sort of midship. Okay, we'll go to the other side because it's sort of decorated like normal. There you go. There's no extra Cat in the Hat stuff here. So this is what the Marco Polo restaurant looks during the day. Midship restaurant. We'll just walk all the way through. I think, is it the Grand Canal or the Canal Grand restaurant? It's a little bit more famous on the ship because of the gondola that sits in there. In fact, we ate right next to the gondola last night. All right, so there is your Marco Polo. And we're at the back side. Roman sculpture. All right, so we're now at the midship elevator banks. I mean, they call it midship. As you can see from the map, it's not exactly midship. It's a little bit further back, okay? But here we are. And as you can see, there's this big gray area, okay? That's actually the kitchen. So we can't get to the Canal Grand restaurant from here because there's a wall. So we're gonna be creative. We're gonna go down to go up. I know that restaurant is on the 3rd and the 4th. So if I go up to the 4th, I'm still not gonna be able to get in, I don't think. So we're just gonna go down to the 2nd and walk the passenger cabin deck to get to the rear elevator bank. All right. This looks familiar, Lisa.
Yes, it does.
Of course, we're on the wrong side, though. All right. If you didn't know, we have a cove balcony. This is our passenger deck, but ours is an even number, so we're on the other side of the ship. Now, normal people would probably edit this walk out, but we keep it in the video because, trust me, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna try to get to that restaurant from the mid deck and you're gonna run into a wall. And you're gonna have to do one of two things. You're gonna have to go up and walk, or you're gonna have to go down and walk to get past that kitchen, okay? So again, here we are. We're 2nd floor, so we're just gonna walk one flight up. There it is, the Grand Canal, or the Canal Grande. All right, we'll show you on the map again. So just a minute ago, we were here. We walked down here and then up the stairs, so we're right here. So we're gonna now take you in here, if you've never seen it before. Nice entryway. And we'll just sort of walk the perimeter. I do believe all the chairs in this restaurant, to include the other restaurant, have been reupholstered. They do look refurbished. We've talked about that in some of the videos, that some of the stuff doesn't look refurbished. But in here, the chairs have definitely been redone. Oh yeah, they're nice and comfy. So we can go all the way back. This is a decent sized restaurant too. So we'll go all the way to the back here. We are in port today, which is a great day to be walking around. There's a big ship. That's the Ida, Voyager. I think it's an Ida ship. The smile up top, you see the little smiley thing? I think that's Ida. Hey, yeah. All right, so let's get a look at that gondola, just in case people out there haven't seen it. Yeah, look at this. Isn't that awesome? Wait. We were eating right over there last night. All right, so let's get to that staircase. Doing photo shoots today of food. Hello. Right, they have a piano player up here. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Beautiful view. It's just the restaurant, right? So you do have an upstairs, but we'll cover that on deck 4. So we hope you like this tour of deck 3. Today we are going to cover deck 4. Yesterday we did deck 3, today we're going to do deck 4, and we are all the way in the back of the ship. So we're starting in the Canal Grande restaurant. So let's take a look at this from the upstairs. This restaurant is 2 stories. We eat downstairs. That's also where the gondola is. Right, you can see that from up here. Right, isn't that pretty? Oh my God, that is so pretty. There we go, sorry. Gimbal's adjusting. But this is, I guess, one of the more popular restaurants. We saw the Marco Polo yesterday, which is sort of midship. And the Canal Grande here is at the back of the ship. If you have anytime dining, this is where you'll be. This is why I think it's one of the more popular restaurants, because I think a lot of people like to do anytime dining now. Right. Again, we're on deck 4. Yep. That ship is still there. It was there yesterday, it's there today. They're following us. All right, and again, you can go down the other side. They're over there working, so we'll stay out of their way. As I mentioned in yesterday's video in this restaurant, I do believe most of the chairs in all the restaurants, in fact, in many of the public areas, the chairs have all been reupholstered. They do look brand new, but I believe they've been upholstered because you can see, you know, a little bit of stuff on the legs, you know, dings and dents and things. They've been repainted, but they're definitely reupholstered, so they're nice and comfortable. Okay. All right, so let's go to the map so you can see yourself. All right, so here we are. We're deck 4, right there, and there it is laid out. Okay, so we're gonna go to the right, walk all the way down the right, and then go to the left. As you saw, the next thing we're gonna see, I think, is the limelighter. Somebody was asking in the comments about, you know, are the activities in the limelighter the same as, you know, the other ships? Well, the answer is yes, it is. And so, I'm not sure if it's open, but if it is, we'll go in. Yeah, it's open. All right, so this is still sort of decorated up from last night. Last night was Italian mask night. So in here they have comedians, they have DJs. I'm assuming this venue is also one of the wedding venues if you want to get married on a ship. Right, so this is what the limelighter looks like. There's the DJ area back there, and he's kind of back there programming, probably lights. Remember, this is the maiden voyage, right? So these guys are here, a lot of extra crew dialing things in. All right, the lighting, the audio, the AC. Because let me tell you, it's pretty cold in this room right now. Dialing that AC. All right, so this area is sort of the art gallery area. See some beautiful art hanging on the wall. They also have, excuse me, little office right here. And this is for your art. We are coming up to the Heroes Lounge. I'm not sure, we may have to show it to you at another time because they're in there doing a photo shoot for the cruise line, but I will sneak past because it looks just like the other Heroes Lounges, right? We appreciate Carnival, being a vet myself. We certainly do appreciate Heroes Tribute Bar. Thank you, Carnival. Let's go down here, go up this way. There you go. So there's your Heroes Lounge. Again, we are on the, huh?
We're 24/7, 365.
And yes, we are. Okay. So we're heading towards midship. We're heading forward on the right side of the ship. As you'll see, we are now into the casino. Okay. We're in port today, so it's obviously closed, which is also the only reason. there, but you're only supposed to be doing it if you're gambling. Okay, we're back in the atrium, and we showed you we came in from down there earlier, right? Walked around. We never did cover this area, Lisa. We got stuck. We may have to go back and do a little bit of deck 3 for you guys, because I think we missed a little bit. Okay, in fact, let's do that right now, Lisa, because there's a staircase right here. We never made it back to the atrium. We finished at the Gran Canale restaurant in the back. Remember, we had to go down to deck 2 to walk to the back. So we never did make our way down the other side of the ship. Now, I apologize about that. I'm sure you're leaving comments on yesterday's video. So here's the other side of the atrium on deck 3. Okay, it's the stairs we just came down. God, I love the carvings, right? This side of the deck, again, nice piano, but you do have your guest services area. So any issues you have, you come and speak to these ladies and gentlemen here, and they will gladly help you out. Okay? You need money, there's an ATM on board. Okay? And then we're sort of back where we started on deck 3, right? This is where we started. So we have now got the rest of it. There's cabins down here, don't forget, right? So, right. So let's go back up to deck 4. Again, apologize. I just noticed that as we were walking through that we never actually came to this side and showed you where guest services is. So today I guess is deck 4 with a cameo of deck 3. All right, back upstairs. Here we go. We're gonna need a cocktail when we're done with this. Love the stairs. I mean, just look at this, guys. Right? Regardless of a few bumps and bruises, it's absolutely beautiful up there. Okay, so obviously we walked through where a bunch of shops are. And as I mentioned, we're in port, so the shops are closed. Okay, so we'll have to show you that later. This is where your dream studio is, at least one of them. If you've never seen Dream Studio, that's where you can do a sitting, professional photographer. The pictures are utterly, they're breathtaking. If you're there for a special moment, I highly recommend getting that. Now, it's not the normal, $20 8x5 kind of pictures, okay? It's a little more expensive. We're again, deck 4, the theater. As you can see, the door is closed, which means they're rehearsing. So let's... Yeah, they're in there rehearsing. So we're not going to bother their rehearsal. Okay, we will show you the theater at another time. Okay. Well, let's cross over. Again, we're now in the elevator bank at the front of the ship. Again, we'll give you a reference. There's our point of reference right here. Okay. We're going to go down the other side of the ship now. Another theater entrance here. Of course, we know what they're doing in there. We've already talked about that. But I love the tile work, right? Look at that. I think it's exquisite, the inlays that they've done. So we're passing by your liquor and tobacco store, and there's jewelry. We will do a whole video on just the stores, because there's also stores up on deck 5. Okay?
Did you want to go outside?
Can we get outside? Isn't that deck 5?
Yeah, I guess it is.
We're on deck 4. So, try to get our bearings here. I'm assuming this was supposed to be a store at some time, but they just have it as a seating area. Interesting. All right, we're back to the casino again. we were on a Royal Caribbean ship, a few weeks back, if you've been following the channel, the Anthem of the Seas, and one of the passengers had an urgent medical situation that required them to be airlifted off the ship. So we were able to carry the airlift. Lisa's obviously talking to her. So again, give you a reference. Again, we are now at the midship. Okay, midship. We just came through the casino. We're standing right here, and we're going to try to go down this way. Not sure how far we can go. I think it's closed off in this area. No, it says Casino Annex. Well, there you go. But like this deck, that's as far as you can go. If you want to get all the way up, you have to go back over to the other side of the ship, which is what I'm going to do. And we'll end up by the Limelighter, I believe. Oh, ladies' room right here. I didn't point that out before. Yeah, we're by the Heroes. And again, right, remember we are 24, 365. All right. And so here we are, the art gallery. Yeah. All right, so we have covered it all for you. So there's your, good morning. So there's your deck 4. Today we are going to give you a tour of deck 11 and all it has to offer. So let's get going. So we are actually as far forward as we could go in public spaces. If you see this little step down, this goes down into cabins. Now we're going to cover the cabins in a completely different stream, but as far as public spaces go, where we started talking in this video is as far as it gets on deck 11, okay? So let's circle this way. We'll go all the way up and then come around so we can show you the whole deck. So as you can see, this area almost has an inside feel. Oh. They're just talking about gangways. We just want to make sure it wasn't too important. Now, this deck 11, look at this. That we're outside, right? It feels like we're inside, but we're outside. There's a little balcony here, right? This is where you'd come and watch movies, right? And then there's the pool down there. I mean, we covered this all yesterday when we did deck 10, but deck 11 sort of overlooks this section here, okay? It is a very, very comfortable feel. As you can see, there's also windows. So if it's warm out, you can open them to get a breeze. The pool area, as I mentioned before, does have a cover. So if you're somewhere cold, they would have that closed so the pool would be warm. Okay? So this is the pergola bar. You wonder why they call it the pergola bar. Okay. Nothing going on here. We're in port today. You do have a set of elevators right here, I believe. So let me just walk over. I'm not going to cross all the way over, but we do like to show you where the elevators are so you have reference. Okay, so these are the midship elevators. We started right here, and now we're right here. Before we go outside, so you make sure I don't miss it, there's your Camp Ocean. All right, so if you have kids from ages 0 to 11, this is where they're going to go. Hello again, ladies. And so you access this from the midship elevators. Okay, and then your kids will come here, you're going to sign them in, they're going to give you a phone, and everything is going to be wonderful. That phone right there. They're going to get that phone right there.
On Venezia.
On Venezia. See.
Hello.
Yes. Go on in. All right, so there's your Camp Ocean. I'm just off of this, and we'll see this on deck 12, but up there is the arcade, right? The warehouse arcade, okay? So let's get back outside. We just like to make sure that we give you some reference so you can see where you're at. In another stream, we will go over the elevators. Not all the elevators go all the way to the top. So I guess that'll help if you want to make a note, you know, of what elevators go where, so you have a head start before you get here. So we've seen just about all the passenger areas, the outdoor areas that have chairs except for Serenity. I know somebody had been asking in one of the streams, since the pools are kind of tiny, is there enough place to sit? It's a loaded question. There's not a ton of sitting room around the pools, but they have chairs everywhere else. And so if you're not wanting to dip your toes in the water, there's plenty of chairs to come and relax, okay? This little area over here is part of Camp Ocean. It's the playground. So there's some cool things back there for the kids to play with, okay? Yeah, I think there's plenty of chairs. Lisa, what do you think?
I think there's a lot of chairs, yeah.
There's plenty of chairs. So, all right, a little bit of a zigzag. All right, again, deck 11. We're coming to where the sort of the sports court is, if you will. Okay, and whether you want to play basketball or soccer or whatever, they have all kinds of different things. Dodgeball, right? So it's a nice little sports court here, right? It's pretty cool. They even have a scoreboard. That's nice. I got a scoreboard, Lisa.
I see that.
All right. I used to play basketball and soccer, but oh my Lord, I haven't done any of that in years. Okay, so circling around here to the very back. Okay, so here we are overlooking the back pool. Right, and as you can see, there's a nice view up here. A couple whirlpools down there, and we did cover that, I guess, yesterday. So look at that, isn't that beautiful? All right, there are some stairs out here, as you can see, to get up to deck 12, but we'll do that tomorrow. Circle around. The DJ was hanging out here for the sail away party. If you saw my videos covering that or my short, I was standing right there. All right. Okay, so for your smokers out here, here is the other smoking area. Again, we're on deck 11, back of the ship, and this is the other area for the smokers. So you can either be up on deck 11 or down on deck 5, or if you are gambling, and only if you are gambling, you can smoke in part of the casino. So those are all the smoking areas as of today. Lord knows what changes they make before you get here. I only bring that up because I'd spoken with someone and they said they had changed the smoking areas like 27 times. Those were his exact words. So I think it's solidified now. So deck 5, deck 11. Okay. Now we're just circling around. Again, lots of chairs, guys. I don't think there'll be any problem. There's another little playground area here from Camp Ocean behind these little barriers here. All right. So cool, fun stuff for the little kiddies to do. You're bringing your children's on board. Not that this has anything to do with deck 11, but look at that sailboat over there. Look at that sucker.
That's beautiful.
That's like 1800s kind of sailboat, right? Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Couple restrooms. And we're going back. I almost said inside. It's still outside. This is the other pool area. Okay, but this ping pong table right here. A couple foosball tables. Little lawn bowling action going on here, right? The screen is up there. Remember, we were just over there, right? We walked all the way around. We've already gone into the elevator banks. Oh, what is this called? It's like Chinese checkers.
Yes.
That is the biggest Chinese checkers I've ever seen.
Isn't that awesome?
That is cool. Okay. Again, I don't know. Leave a comment below. Does this feel like it's an outside space? Or does it feel like it's an inside space? I don't know, feels like an inside space to me. Here's something else I want to see. What are they doing over there? Can I zoom in? What are they doing over there?
They are acting like puppets.
They are acting like puppets. So, in case you didn't know, most days we're in port. The entertainment staff, musicians, all the entertainers on board, they make use of the ship being mostly empty and rehearse and do different things. All right, so that is it. We've come full circle. Deck 11. All right. So let us know what you think of Deck 11. Let us know if you think there are enough chairs on this ship. You know, if people didn't think there were enough, we think there's enough. Okay. Until we see you again tomorrow, be safe.